Click Dark, Desk Clerk. The funniest is still Disc Clerk.
Yeah, that's the one. That's my default.
Dick Clark is good, but Disc Clark is good.
Disc Clark is my favorite.
I'm Disc Clark. Just a classic parody. Oh, there's a mountain far from my home.
Okay. You're on.
Sick. Are we live?
You're live. Fuck!
Cut that.
You're on private property. Fuck.
You're on private property. Fuck. So we were talking about conventions. I think the worst, what I was going to say, I think the worst anime expo I ever, not worst in terms of it was a bad convention,
Right.
but there was one anime expo where I brought hundreds of dollars, and I always do that thinking, well, I'm not going to spend all that. But there was one anime expo that we got some kind of bonus on something, and I remember they had so many things I was looking for.
Right.
It was like all the new Evangelion Revoltex that I was looking for, all the new like Dragon Ball statues, whatever. And I remember, I think I spent like $350 or something. And I remember thinking, what the fuck? Holy shit. I was like, I went too far. Like I felt like, yeah. So normally I don't do that, but something, I don't know what it was. I think some of it was gifts too, because I think I found something for like Garrett for Christmas that I saved until then or something. It was like, that was the most ape I ever went at Anime Expo. Usually it's like usually when it comes to just collectible fun stuff, $100 is kind of like, all right, if I'm spending more than that, I stop. Stop. When it comes to, and that's not like nothing. I mean, sometimes there are exceptions, sure, but when it goes over $100, I start to feel like, what's something valuable I can get in terms of will better my life in terms of like, get a fucking iPad at that point or a computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like once I spend over $100, again, there are exceptions. The Legacy Thunder Megazord was $200. I did do that. I think I got a discount.
Even if you didn't, there are certain things like I know I'm like, if this is something that touched me from like, one of my favorite shows when I was a kid, or like just something that's like dear to me, like buying the Lost box set was something like
that was a couple $100.
Yeah,
but that's a show that has a free pass. It's like, hey, whatever.
And they put as much care into the box set as they did into the show, so which I didn't realize until I got the box set and and took it apart. But like, for something like that, that's really like I feel like it's a part of me. I don't feel like it's a big deal to justify spending that amount of money. Yeah.
And that's a good question. What are the keystones in your life that are like that? What are the free passes in terms of buying collectibles or buying something that is a thing that means a lot to you? What are the things where, relatively speaking, money is no object? You just mentioned Lost.
Yeah,
Lost, the box set. For me, I already owned a lot of that show on Blu-ray.
Oh, I owned it all.
When that box set came out, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm buying it because Lost might be my favorite show ever of all time. And so that was free pass.
And I'm fairly certain that I owned all of the DVDs up until the point that I got a PlayStation 3.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure I bought basically all iterations
I
of the show you could get.
I bought season 1 and 2 on DVD of Lost. Then season 3 came out on Blu-ray, so I said, all right, from here on out, Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And then they re-released season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, and I bought those. So I owned seasons 1 through 5 on Blu-ray. Then they put out season 6 and the box set, and I went, all right, fuck it. I bought the box set.
Yeah.
So I bought, technically, 5, 7... I technically bought 13 seasons of Lost.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that sounds about
technically. Right. So that's a series that gets a free pass.
Yeah.
The other one for me, is not a surprise, is Power Rangers. A classic, vintage Power Rangers. Not any shit after like 98. I don't care. But if it's something from that era, they've been releasing all this legacy shit from Mighty Morphin, but now they're starting to do figures of like Power Rangers in space, which was like kind of one of the last big ones I was into in like 97, 98. Fuck yeah, give it all to me. Yeah. Oh yeah, give it. So that's how I am for that. I think Garrett is kind of that way with Metal Gear.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh, new Metal Gear thing, done, give it.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot where at one point in my life, I would have, when I was like really collecting a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
But like, you know, like I really like stuff from Evangelion. I always thought the designs of everything was so cool. Had to really cut back on all of that. Like, even with Lost too, I'm like, there's so much shit I could buy that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
And honestly, it gets to a point where I look at my shelf and I look at my stuff and I'm like, I don't want to have to move this when I move. Yeah, that is definitely a factor. The last time that I moved was brutal because it was, I had so much, I had a decade's worth of shit in such a small space, and it was like wrapping so many little things. It was, what a pain in the ass. So when I moved from there, I moved temporarily, and I knew I was going to move again to where I am now. So I kept everything in its box. I was like, I ain't unpacking shit. And my family was always like, oh my God, you have boxes everywhere. Why don't you unpack these boxes? Not worth it. Yeah. I'd rather live in boxes. Absolutely. I'd rather sleep. I'd rather look like I was living in a homeless shanty with boxes all around me and cardboard everywhere than unpack any of that. God, especially the amount of stuff that like you have. Like the same thing happens whenever I go to Garrett's, which is like, I know he's never, once he's set. Yeah, like, I don't think he's ever going to move.
I don't think
place again.
Do you think he will ever move?
No.
He will never move.
Never.
He is where he is.
I think he will.
Why would he?
Remodel the house at some point in his life.
Sure.
But he'll never. But first of all, I'm not even on camera here, but it doesn't matter. You still hear me.
First of all, if I lived in that property, I would never move.
No.
That property is awesome. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Except for the internet. It's perfect for him. The only thing is, like, the house is old, but you could redo your house.
Yeah. And if anybody can do it for cheap, it's him.
That's right. So he will never ever move, nor should he ever move.
Nope.
There you go. That's all.
That's a good 2 cents.
I think that's 100% true. But with that regard, if I had as many of the collectibles and things that he has, like, I mean, he must have thousands of things, and you too. And I'm just like, I would just throw it all away. I don't care. I want to move. I don't want to have to deal with any of this shit. I think the last time you were asking before we went on, the last time or the one day big purchase I did was when we were at Mondo 2 or 3 years ago, and they had the 9-inch or 7-inch finals for the Batman animated
at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I bought all 4, I think it was at the time.
Yeah. There was one more, it wasn't there yet.
Yeah, that wasn't there yet. That they didn't get shipped, or it wasn't.
Didn't I find it for you though?
You did find it for me.
That's right.
So I have the full collection.
I remember being really happy about that. I was like, wait, they're on sale now? Oh, give me 2.
Yeah, you got me one for a birthday or Christmas or something. But it was so I have all of them. I originally had the intention of selling them all.
Oh yeah, I thought you did.
I never got around to selling them. So DM me if you guys want to buy them at eBay prices.
I opened all of them.
Really?
I opened all of them because they were all different colored vinyl. Like Clayface had a clay vinyl. Like they all had some kind of interesting gimmicks to it. So I was like, fuck. I rarely sell shit. So I just wanted to I wanted to open it and take a look. And what I want to do is actually do a little frame. I want to frame them all or something, like put them all up.
Yeah, and for some reason,
those were cool.
For some reason, I have an extra copy of Mr. Freeze.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I was looking through them all, and I have an extra copy of Mr. Freeze, which...
Oh, that one's mine.
Oh, is it? It might be Shawn's. Honestly, I don't know. Because I know I bought like 2... I think I bought an extra Joker.
Hey, I'm not joking. I do know, this is funny, that I got one.
And then I have no idea what happened to it.
Okay.
But I don't... I mean, the odds of it being yours, who knows?
Yeah.
But,
well,
I thought you had a Joker one, though. I thought that's what it was.
Oh, I did have the Joker one, not Mr. Freeze. You had 2 Mr. Freezes?
I have 2 Mr. Freezes.
Oh, then I got 2 I have the Joker.
I think maybe someone left one or gave us a set. I really have no idea.
Someone definitely got a Freeze. Yeah, someone else.
Huh. I don't know.
But like, I thought you had a Joker.
Yeah, I did. No, I do have that.
Because I was looking through, and I'm like, I got 2 Jokers, or at least I thought I had 2 Jokers. Maybe I opened the wrong one. Who knows? Either way. But that was the largest thing I've spent like one item
recently.
purchase that I've ever done at, I think, at any convention.
I thought Mondo did a great job with those.
Yeah.
Those were relatively cheap.
Yeah.
They were cheap. They were collectible. They were rare.
Yeah.
But the barrier of entry wasn't so hard. It's like sometimes there's, we have a exclusive thing. Bandai does their exclusive things, talking about Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But they're always like $125. It's like, and there's so few of them. It's like, fuck you, I guess.
Yeah.
But Mondo had a decent amount of them, and they were $10. I don't remember how much they were.
Yeah, they were either 10 or 15.
Or 12.
Yeah, something like that.
Something
But
like
I thought
that.
those were a good deal. Like, those were really cool collectibles.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. Mondo, there hasn't been a Mondo art print in recent year or two that I have wanted, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, there's a point where every week I had to turn these down because I wanted to hang them all up. And then last month in December, they did 2 awesome Star Wars ones. Like,
really?
Like 2 variants of the same thing. It's like kind of Luke in the shadows, and then Vader in the shadows.
Oh, that's really
side by side, and then at the bottom was them combating, and they did a Empire variant and a Jedi variant.
Oh, that's really cool.
And one was him looking kind of wide-eyed and innocent and defending himself from Vader, and the other is him looking confident as he is in Jedi.
Nice.
And attack, and they were really dope. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get these, and they were gone in 0.1 second. And I was like, man, I thought Mondo was getting better at this stuff, where things would last a minute.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I thought that, because the last prints I got from them were for the Matrix, which is not popular at all in 2016. Go figure. And Star Wars, which happens to be the biggest thing on Earth in 2016. So I don't know why I thought there would be no difference.
Yeah.
Or like Planet of the Apes. I got a Planet of the Apes thing from them, and it's like, well, yeah, Planet of the Apes ain't hot right now.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is.
Yeah. Like, I think the last thing I got from Mondo, which I'm still happy I bought, was the Aliens soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah, that was sick.
And I don't normally buy new vinyl. Like,
Yeah.
I always like, if it wasn't pressed for vinyl, then I don't buy it.
Yeah.
And that was my rationale. I'm like, this was originally released on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I have the Alien soundtrack.
Yeah.
The old, like, original James Horner, I think, did the soundtrack.
Yes, James Horner. Yeah.
So I have that original soundtrack too. So
Yeah.
our buddy Mauricio gave it to me for my birthday, and I'm like, dude, I love movie soundtracks.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
those soundtracks are so awesome. I really, really like those, and the vinyl itself is like that yellow with so Mondo
Power Loader record.
Yeah.
And if you notice the other disc,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize that, the other one's normal. No, it's not. It's a dark blue.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just never held it up to light or something. But it's meant to be Alien Queen. It's meant to be her art, kind of, her. That's her color. It's like a very, very, very dark. It's like midnight blue kind of.
Oh, I didn't know that she was blue. I was.
It's it's the Queen versus the Power Loader.
Oh.
So that's
hilarious.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome.
My favorite memory was going to bed during Comic-Con. I get like no sleep during Comic-Con.
Oh yeah.
I sleep like 2 hours a night, and I was like, I'm gonna put. You know what? I don't know why. I was tired. I put that on. I was like, I want to hear this record, but I'm going to bed. I'll put it on as I fall asleep. And at the beginning, it sounds good because you put it on and it's like dun, 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 dun. It's classic floating in space alien music. Why did I not think that would pick up? I mean, I put that on. I fall asleep, but da, 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 it's like Facehugger theme or something. It's like, all right, that woke me up.
It gets pretty.
Stupid. I was pretty stupid. They did the best 2, I should say, that Mondo's ever done. One came out a year ago, but I only listened to it this Christmas for obvious reasons. They did the Home Alone soundtrack.
Oh, awesome.
But what they did a good job with is, one, they got John Williams' score, but they, unlike any other release of the soundtrack, they mixed it with the classic Christmas songs that are actually in the movie.
Oh,
There's never been a version of the soundtrack that had both. So you'd have dun, 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 the classic score, and then you'd have I'm dreaming.
Oh, that's so cool.
They mixed it up, so it was actually just a good Christmas album.
Oh, that's really cool.
Over the holidays, I had that on repeat.
Yeah.
But they did great. The vinyl, they had a red vinyl, a green vinyl, and the packaging it was in is cut. It's the house. and inside you see all the silhouettes of like the Michael Jordan thing and him, whatever. But it's cut to where you pull the sleeve out and it's the artwork inside. Like it's the artwork. It's all the artwork of all the people inside, and you could flip it over to make it look like the lights are out.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a black other side, and you put it back in. It was really cool.
Oh, that is really cool.
And so they did a good job with that. But then they did the Planet of the Apes score recently, which I've never had any release of. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, has such a weird soundtrack. It's lots of dum, 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 weird sounds. And but the cover of it has no apes on it, because every time they do anything Planet of the Apes, they spoil the fucking ending of the movie. No apes on the cover. It's just the scarecrows in the Forbidden Zone. If you remember in that movie, when they reach the ridge of the Forbidden Zone, it's all these like scarecrow. They look like X's almost, like these big scarecrows. It's just a ridge of those, and no title, no nothing. When you open it up, if you remember in the movie, in the Forbidden Zone, they find a baby doll, and they pick it up and it, Mama, Mama. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
When you open up the record, it's a gatefold. You open it up, it's artwork of the doll laying there, and they sound chipped it, and it does that.
Oh, really?
Mama!
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
It's wicked. They did a great job.
Wow.
And, the vinyl is both of them are yellow and black. That I don't understand. I don't know. No one in the movie liked the Steelers, so I don't really understand that. But anyway,
from the original, not the re-release, right?
Oh yeah, original. Okay. I wouldn't have bought the re-release. Believe it or not. But anyway, those I think are the best ones they've done, and the Alien one are like the best.
Yeah,
the best stuff.
They always do really cool things, even if you don't like the property that they use. They always do a really cool thing. Like, didn't they do the Ninja Turtles? They had the animated series.
Different company did that.
They didn't do the Rat Traps. I thought they did.
Oh, they did the Rat Traps. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. Mondo did the figures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were really cool. Yeah. But like again, that's for me to look at and go, awesome. And then
I have to say I'm disappointed though, because Mondo got into figures and they said, you know, these are really nice, like high quality designer figures, but don't worry, we're not going to have designer price. These aren't going to be like expensive figures.
Yeah.
They've all been like $150. Oh, like there's been ones they put out for like $300. It's like, guys, that's not what you said. But, okay. Maybe they could have been more expensive. I don't know. But I ain't buying them. What?
I got my brother. Mondo did the Superman animated series vinyl, and it was just the S was the vinyl. It was cut like the S. Luke fucking loved it.
Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. He said it was red, so cool. Yeah. There also was a Bizarro Superman one that was purple.
Oh, that's so cool.
I was about to say they did do a variant. It was Bizarro.
Yeah. They should have made you play it backwards for it to get the sound.
Oh, smart.
Could
like Jack White did that, where you put it on the inside and went out that way.
It spun out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. That's one of my favorite vinyls of all time.
Oh yeah.
The Lazaretto LP was,
and that was like $20.
It was $20, and it had every gimmick ever. You have to start the record in the middle. Okay. Oh, there's a hologram on it when you look at it this way. Okay. There's a song that, depending where the needle lands, will have an acoustic or electric intro.
Right.
Wow.
Locked grooves at the end.
Right.
Beatles style. I mean, there was every step of it was like there's a trick to everything.
Yeah, there's some gimmick. My favorite thing was the alternate tracks on the record. Like what? Like that is so crazy that like depending on where you put it, the intro was different. It's like that's
really
that was brilliant.
That is brilliant.
The only thing that bummed me out was that there are hidden tracks on the label. If the needle spins on the label, there are more songs, and I've never heard them because my record is automatic. It like goes to the end. All right, we're done, and it's like no, go to the label. Oh, it went back. Okay, I need a different record player.
Huh. That's really cool.
But that Lazaretto, and it was $20. You know, they could have sold it as a big thing and charged money.
Plus, that $20 record is cool on its own. That's a good album.
It was a great album. I really liked it.
Yeah, but that's what they said. Jack White was the Willy Wonka of vinyl records, which is true.
Yes.
And actually, they just announced today that they're releasing his printing. They're printing all the records now in Detroit. Like he is like Threadman Records is pressing.
Oh, they're pressing their own shit.
Yeah, so it's like Threadman Records pressing, and they just started it today. I started following on Twitter. There was like 20 followers when I started.
Wow. But I wonder if any of that shit's in the Raconteurs vinyl.
I'm sure they will.
Because I have the Consolers of the Lonely on vinyl, And like, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff on the gatefold and everything.
Yeah.
Like there's that extra scene where they hand draw somebody hanging.
What's funny is Krista was a bartender at the Chili's that I used to work at.
Yeah.
And one of her regulars like, oh yeah, I know Jack White. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, I do things with them. I just helped. I took the picture for their newest album. It's when the Consolers of the Lonely. And she's like, really? This is before it was released. Like, yeah, hey, just so you know, I'm not lying to you. Look in the far left corner. You'll see this thing, and that thing was there. It's like,
absolutely
before
there.
Even there. It's like, this guy fucking.
That's
what?
how I knew it was there. You told me about it. I couldn't remember where I had heard it, but there's like he hand drew somebody hanging from a tree. Or something.
And it's
like
so
that.
small.
You can't see it unless you
And he said that like 4 months before they released the album. Like, what the fuck? And I guess they said they all hung out and they called it the White House, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, that's great.
But anyways, I saw it at a record store like years ago, and I regret not buying it now. It was like $50. I was like, oh fuck that. But it was their first album, the Raconteurs, but it was the Australian version, so it was the Saboteurs instead.
Yeah, they had to change their name over there.
They did, and it was like an import, and it was super cool, but I didn't get it.
That's fine.
Damn, that would have been really cool.
If the track listing's the same, the only thing is the cover.
I know this is going to get scoffed at, but you know what is one of the most valuable albums ever?
The Beatles.
Is when don't spoil it.
Sorry.
When the band Him came here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's her.
They had to change the name. Some Chicago shit band had the name Him, and they went, all right, so they changed it to Her and put out albums for about a week until like a label stepped in and was like, fuck that, no, make the Chicago band give that up. No. And they basically like paid the Chicago band, hey, you're not Him anymore. Like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Here's, $5,000. Just
we'll buy the rights.
$5,000. And they became Him. Those Her albums are so valuable. Chaz had all of them.
Really?
Oh, really?
And he sold them all. Yeah, he made so much money off Her merchandise.